Hey, I celebrated Halloween for the first time in my life, actually. What's up, it's a culture detective here, investigating your favorite TV shows and movies and animes and everything else, and today I'm going to be doing a movie roundup video where I talk about the movies, TV shows, and animes I watched in the last couple of weeks or so. It's October, part 2, baby! And yes, I also feel very sick right now, so I'm sorry if I sound like a dead person, which I almost am. So starting off, I watched G Affairs, and it is the first film I watched in the Hong Kong Asian Film Festival lineup, and I even got to see the director Lee Chak-pan after watching the movie with a small Q&A with him, so that's really cool. And that being said though, the movie itself is kind of a mess. Structurally, it is very choppy and it tries really hard to be clever, and it ended up feeling very gimmicky. That said, Hannah-chan is fucking awesome, and I like the provocative, bold, edgy themes explored in the film. Okay, I need to sniff. Okay, hold on. Fuck. There are so many scenes that are so absurd and cartoony it borders on being funny, but then also takes itself seriously, which makes it awkward as a result. So yeah, overall it's a 6 out of 10. Then I watched Kirie by Iwai Shunji. It is the second film I saw in the film festival, and I got to meet Iwai Shunji himself, and even ended up being inside one of his live streams. The film itself is emotional, gentle, beautiful, albeit a little bit self-indulgent, but once again it explores trauma and grief and childhood and how music shapes it, and I really love themes like that. It just feels very honest and grounded and real. It also felt very long, which I get it, it's a criticism, but I also don't know why so many people hate the movie. I like the movie overall. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. Then I finally watched Kung Fu Hustle, and finally I can call myself a Hong Konger now that I've watched this film. And yes, it is insanely funny, but I wish I watched it with an audience because comedies are always less funny when I watch them alone. But it's also a surprise how well shot some of the shots are in this movie, and all the fights are very creative. Stephen Chow is really funny, or was really funny. God knows what he's doing now, but still very good. 8 out of 10. Then I watched Utica by Aoyama Shinji, which is the third film I watched from the Hong Kong Asian Film Festival, and wow, this movie is 3 hours and 40 minutes long, and I watched it on an empty stomach from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. in a big theater. And also wow, because it is a masterpiece. It explores grief and trauma in its purest form, and it faces those themes head on. It's also extremely slow paced, but none of the scenes felt pointless, and I enjoyed all of them simply because of the context that those scenes are in. So yeah, 10 out of 10 movie. Then I watched Possessor by Brandon Cronenberg, David Cronenberg's son. Yeah, the premise is very interesting, but the execution just seemed off. There's something about the way the film is shot and edited that made it feel very indie and amateurish. I mean, yeah, it is indie. And yeah, I guess in a way he's not the most well-oiled, why did I say that? Well-ironed director. But still, there's something about the shallow depth of field, the lingering long takes that just makes it feel kind of amateurish. And all the characters feel very cold and distant, so I didn't feel much from the movie, unfortunately. 6 out of 10. Then I rewatched the first half of Decision to Leave. I rewatched it. I watched the first half with my mom, and she was kind of bored by it because she didn't get it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Park Chan-wook films are very rewatchable because all of the small details you can pick up on. It makes watching a film feel like solving a puzzle, and I freaking love that. 9 out of 10. Then I watched Perfect Days, which is the fourth film I saw from the Hong Kong Asian Film Festival. I even got to see the main actor Yakusho Koji himself, and damn, is this a good film. It is a hearty, feel-good film that is peaceful, quiet, and wholesome. It's about the little things in life, and it triumphs in its own minimalism and simplicity. 8 out of 10. Then I watched The Boxer's Omen, and it's definitely not that scary, but definitely insanely gross. Then you get the spiders, crocodiles, flesh ripping apart, light beams, lightning strikes, flying heads, stop-motion skeleton bats, one-eyed baby dinosaurs, elixir-dripping mushrooms, and the sloppy white slime-covered reanimated evil witch. This movie is as absurd as it gets. The last act sees the film crew go to Nepal, and it almost is like an anthropological documentary about Buddhism or something. The production design of this movie is like the Holy Mountain all over again. It's really impressive and really ridiculous, and in a sense, I sort of enjoyed that. 9 out of 10, actually. Strong 8 to a light 9. Somewhere in between. Then I finished watching The Vanishing, or Sporlos, by George Sleitzer. While it is nowhere near as scary as some people say it is pretty unnerving and creepy, but most importantly, really sad. The ending is indeed extremely chilling, and it really got stuck in my head for quite a while, and I really like it overall. Don't go into it thinking that it's going to be a horror. Think of it as a mystery. Think of it as a mystery film, and it will hit you really hard. 8 out of 10. Then I rewatched Kylie Blues, and once again I watched it with my parents, and they enjoyed it, mainly because it's Chinese and they didn't expect anything this artsy and this weird and abstract to come out of China ever. But yeah, for me, a rewatch definitely made me enjoy this a lot more. I like this a lot more. The long take, still amazing. 8 out of 10. Then I watched The Exorcist by William Friedkin, rest in peace. I watched it on October 30th, but technically the 31st for Halloween. I watched it alone at night with all lights off from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. and man, that was a mistake because this movie is way scarier than it should be. And I'm not scared by the gory violent scenes, but it's the moodier atmospheric scenes that really get me. And it's great, and of course, distorted depiction of Catholicism and the devil, but that's what makes it so damn good. The editing is amazing, it's precise, it's methodical, it's calculated, I freaking love it. 9 out of 10. Finally, I finished watching Mushoku Tensei Season 2 Core 1. I speed ran all 6 episodes, all the last 6 episodes yesterday, and I think it's pretty good. It started off kind of rough with some unrelatable issues, and it's kind of a drag in the beginning, but it slowly turns into a wholesome, heartwarming, funny slice of life anime, which is definitely a change of pace from season 1, but I still enjoyed it. There's even one plot point that really intrigued me and puts the entire premise to a different perspective, so overall, it's still really good. Strong 7 to a light 8 out of 10. So, if you watched these movies, TV shows, and animes, comments below, let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.